Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist of the Abyss, and you're watching my first impressions video for the second season of Boku no Hero Academia, aka My Hero Academia. Okay, and it's safe to say that my first impressions of these first 4 episodes are pretty positive. Okay, My Hero Academia does exactly what it's supposed to do, which is be fun, enjoyable, with likable characters, to the degree where you actually are invested in them and how they do. All right. It follows up from the last season, which is exactly what it's supposed to do. It talks about the attack from the League of Villains, and it shows how UA and all the heroes that work there are trying to gather information about them to prevent those attacks from happening in the future. Okay, specifically, All Might determines that Shigaraki, the supposed leader, or he comes off as the leader of the League of Villains, which seems pretty obvious, but maybe not. We'll get to that. All Might says that Shigaraki has the mind of a child because of the way he goes about things. So always showing off and trying to be the center of attention, always saying stupid and immature things, and pretty much just assuming things will go his way because why not? It's him. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't he get what he wants? Which is a childish way of thinking. Okay, and the part that's even weirder than that is that 70 some villains decide to follow that child. Okay, it's incredibly dangerous, and you don't know what exactly, when you have someone like that leading you, you don't know what they're going to do next. You can't check off anything. Okay, you have to assume that anything is possible. Okay, but the principal follows all of that up by saying that there might be someone behind the scenes manipulating Shigaraki and harnessing all of that negativity and malice. Okay, and that makes the League of Villains an even bigger threat than they even realize, even with Shigaraki being a man-child, as All Might puts it. And I'm just saying, it looked like All Might kind of reacted to it. It seems like All Might just have somebody in mind. I'm not saying anything. All I'm saying is, it looks like All Might know somebody. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Now, um, one of the good things that My Hero Academia does is character development. Okay, and one of the good things they've done so far in the second season is develop characters like Ochako Uraraka. I can't say her name, so I just shorten it to Ocha. Okay, so Ocha and Ida. So far, Todoroki, he's getting a little bit of development every now and then. And with the arc that they're in, it's just gonna keep happening over and over again all the way to the finals and even beyond that. Bakugo is Bakugo. Ida, we he had a good moment in this past episode, episode 4. I guess it's episode 18, 17 actually. Because they didn't start over at episode 1, they continued from episode 14, 15, 16, 17. Um, but Ida had a good moment where Midori actually asked him to be on his team for the cavalry battle, which is the second. Oh, we'll get there. But the point is that Ida got some character development when he said he would not be on Midoriya's team because he can't grow if he only follows Midoriya. He has to stand against him and fight against him in order to grow as a person and as a hero, right? So Ida gets some development, but Ocha also gets some really good development so far in this season. And she has one of the more heartwarming backstories in the series because her entire reason for being a hero is simply to help her parents. And her parents originally told her, no, we don't want you to live your entire life for the sole purpose of helping us. We want you to accomplish your own dreams and not be held down by us. Okay? But Ocha finds a way to kind of combine the two and say, okay, well, I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to do what I want to do. But in succeeding in that, it will make me better capable of actually helping my parents and giving them a nice and easy life because of all they've done for me. Okay, so Ocha has a great backstory, great motivation, a great goal. It's simple, but it's great nonetheless. So that's really good to see. That's something My Hero Academia does well. But the focus of this first half of the season is the UA Sports Festival. Okay, apparently, and it's being built up as this great event that all of Japan pays attention to it to the degree where it actually replaced the Olympics in their mind as this like all-time great sporting event. All these scouts are there looking at the students, pro heroes, and all these hero agencies are there. All the people that you would want to notice you in the hero industry, in the hero field, they're going to be there. They're going to be paying attention. So all the students want to stand out as much as possible. And of course, All Might wants Midoriya to stand out as well. The problem is that it's not just the hero course competing. It's not just Class A. It's also the general course, the support course, pretty much every class at UA with the exception of the business course because they have no, which I actually made a point of saying in this series so far, that the business course has no reason to compete because they're all about business, not any type of field related work. So they're just on the side selling stuff and marketing people. So pretty much every class at UA participates. Okay. So there's much more competition, and it's even harder than it should be because Bakugo is just really good at making enemies, so he just insults the entirety of the school. Anybody who was not in Class A got insulted by Bakugo. Okay, so the entirety of Class A became targets because of that. Plus, there's this whole transfer rumor that was brought up that if someone in Class A loses or does really poorly, they could be transferred out of Class A, but someone who does well can be transferred in. So that's just another reason to make Class A targets. It doesn't help matters at all for them. Okay, and building up to this sports festival, we had ourselves a little sports training montage. We got to see most of the people in Class A training in their own ways, training their quirks, training their bodies in preparation for this festival. Okay, and we got to see the fact that Class A not only has to look out for Class B and like all these other courses, but they also have their own rivalries within Class A, so they have to look out for each other as well. And the main focus was Todoroki, Midoriya, and Bakugo. They got themselves a little triple threat going on, where Todoroki and Bakugo aren't necessarily rivals with each other, but they have similar rivals. Well, they have the same rival in Midoriya, but because of that, they end up being rivals by default. And then Ida ends up coming in later as well. So Class A has their own rivalries. So this ends up becoming a just no holds barred, everybody for themselves kind of situation. Okay. And that's when we get to the first round of the sports festival, which is an obstacle course race, which literally is everybody for themselves. So we had a few different aspects of this. The robots from the entrance exam were there. People had to go get by them. We had this kind of like tightrope kind of thing where you had to go across the freaking Grand Canyon. Not really the Grand Canyon, but might as well be. Their version of a canyon and cliffs and stuff, and you had to go across them on these tight ropes. And then lastly, they had the minefield. Okay, and the main takeaways from this first round are: 1, Todoroki is a beast. 2, Bakugo is a beast. And 3, Midoriya is a great underdog. Okay, he had a great win in the first round, made perfect sense. No, nothing that was just, no plot armor, no plot devices specifically made to help him, like nothing like that. I mean, you could argue that he got a little lucky. Well, Midoriya himself says this. He got lucky because he ended up using part of the robot to propel himself through the minefield and make it to the finish line, which was a great scene. Okay, so you could say that that he got lucky. That you could say that that's a bit of a plot device, and that it was written specifically to allow him to. But I mean, that's how stories. It wasn't anything too egregious. That's what I'm trying to say. It wasn't a friendship power up, or it wasn't anything like that. It was perfectly acceptable. Okay. But one final takeaway from this is that the people outside of Class A are just as legit as they are. Okay, it's something to keep in mind. These kids might not have gotten into Class A, but that doesn't mean they are lesser in any way. They were very good. They just didn't quite make the cut. But there's, depending on the judging criteria, you could be good in one area, bad in another. And the point is this: they're all pretty good. Don't count any of them out. Okay. That's the point, especially with Shinso, who is the blue-haired guy who has stood out in specific moments, but when it comes to the competition he goes out of his way to kind of not stand out, be in the background, and not get too much attention, which is actually uh, it's actually something that you kind of focus on. Really, it almost kind of backfires from the perspective of a viewer, not necessarily the people in the series, but as a viewer, because you see him stand out when he's calling out Bakugo in the classroom. But then after that, you never see him do anything. You literally just see him standing around and just observing people, and you're like, but wait, you were talking the talk not too long ago, but now you're not doing anything. So it kind of stands out to the viewer, but not to the people who are actually in the series, which is the point. But anyway, let's not talk too much about Shinso because this is the I don't want to get too far ahead of things. Okay, first 4 episodes, right? But so a few moments I want to talk about, just a few individual moments that stood out to me, were Todoroki freezing the robots, because that was just really cool, and it just shows you right off the bat that Todoroki is a powerhouse. Okay, we already knew that Todoroki was great, but this is just him going above and beyond and showing like he is definitely a contender for top student in the entire school. He's just incredibly legit. He doesn't have the same attitude problems as Bakugo has for the most part. He's got his own issues, but like we can see he's obsessed with his father Endeavor, who is #2 hero. He's always got these flames surrounding him and everything. He's obsessed with his father. Right, so he's got his own issues, but not to the degree that Bakugo has. So Todoroki just shows throughout this season so far that he is a beast. Okay, and him freezing the robots was just one of the perfect examples of that. Now, a second moment that stood out to me was Izuku's mother, and this is like nothing too like not really plot relevant yet, but one of the moments that stood out to me was Izuku's mother, because she's watching all this go down on TV and she's yelling at the screen, telling Izuku to run away. And when I first saw that, I was thinking to myself, how could you do, how could you, I mean, obviously Midoriya can't hear her, but I mean, still, like, he's your son. You should believe in him. You shouldn't be yelling at him to run away. Like, you gotta believe in your son. But that's when I remembered, oh wait, that's right, she doesn't know about his quirk yet. In her mind, he's still the quirkless son that she's known for his entire life, okay? But she doesn't know that All Might, of all people, transferred his quirk. So she just doesn't know about any of this, right? So that's just something that stood out to me. So just a small little thing that was really well done on the part of the author. Okay. And then lastly, Mei Hatsume. Okay, we got her debut. She's a member of the support class. She builds gadgets for all these heroes, or at least that's her goal. That's the point of her gadgets, to be helpful to heroes. And the only reason she's even in the sports festival, well, anyone in the support class really, the only reason they're in the sports festival is to show off their gadgets and show off their talents to heroes, so that they could be brought in and build gadgets for all these great heroes. Okay. So her main focus isn't winning. It's just lasting long enough to show off and bring attention to her ability to actually create all these useful gadgets. Okay, so we saw her in the beginning showing off her Attack on Titan cosplay, pretty much, just flying through the air with her gear and stuff. So that's pretty much that was pretty much what she did there. But yeah, those are some moments that stood out to me, and that's pretty much it for the first round. Like I said, Midoriya ended up winning the first round by propelling himself forward using the minefield, which was a great moment in and of itself. Now the second round after that is a cavalry battle. Okay, and everybody in this cavalry battle is assigned points depending on where they finished in the first round. The top 42 people made it through. Random number, they could have just gone top 40, but gotta go top 42, I guess. Essentially, and I don't know how many people have seen cavalry battles before in anime or manga. Or maybe you haven't seen the episodes yet, who knows, but just in case, the cavalry battles are when you form a team of maybe 2, but usually like 3 to 4 or 5 people, and you're essentially carrying one of your teammates. Most of the teammates are on the bottom, one teammate is on top, you carry your teammate, and the teammate on top has a headband. And the point of the cavalry battle is to take people's headbands, okay? And with the point aspect added into it, your point total ends up being the total of the headbands that you end up collecting. So you take someone's headband, you take their points, and they drop down to 0. Okay, and usually in cavalry battles like this, you get eliminated if the person being held up hits the ground or if their headband gets taken. But they eliminated that rule here, I guess, to one, make it more interesting, and two, make it more chaotic. That way all the teams are always there, always a threat, and it makes it more of a challenge for the students. Now, the interesting part about cavalry battles is creating a strategy for it, especially when it comes to Midoriya, because his point total is so much higher than everyone else's. The highest point total besides his is 200, which is Todoroki, but he has 10 million. So as long as he keeps his headband, it doesn't matter what anyone else does. He wins automatically, okay? He'll win regardless. So his team doesn't need to be focused on offense. It needs to be focused on defense, which is why his strategy is so important. Now, in the beginning, he chooses Ocha and Ida to be on his team. But Ida declines, which is when he gets his little bit of development, which I talked about earlier, about how he can't grow if he only follows Midoriya. He has to go against him in order to grow as a hero. Okay, so Midoriya is kind of lost there. He wanted Ida to be his power person, his person in front who defends him. But he lost Ida, so he needed to find more people to get on this team. And Mei Hatsume ends up showing up. She doesn't really care about winning. She doesn't care about getting back at Midoriya. She doesn't see him as a rival or anything, so she has no reason to go against him. All she cares about is standing out. And since Midoriya has the most points, since everyone will be coming after him, joining his team is the best way to stand out. So Mei shows up, joins his team, and that leaves one more member, which ends up being Tokoyami. And might I just add, there is no finer power hitter than Tokoyami to be on your team. I'm just saying, it was a fine choice by Midoriya there. Okay, just saying. Now, some of the other great teams, which had me cracking up, Shoji Tsuyu and the man himself, Mineta. Okay, dude. Mineta, he is so freaking funny. This dude is hilarious. He only made it through the first round because he literally got carried to the finish by Momo Yaoyorozu. Okay, he literally stuck himself to her back, and no matter how hard she elbowed him, no matter how hard she tried to get him off, he would not budge. And that is how he made it to through the first round, by sticking to her back. That was hilarious. Okay, Mineta is just the best. Okay, and he came up with this great idea of just teaming up with Shoji and pretty much just staying inside of Shoji because he has these like arm wing things. Okay, so he would just like, and Tsuyu as well was there. They would just stay inside, and no one would be able to get Mineta's headband, which was a great idea. Though somehow, some way, he ended up getting his headband taken anyway, which they didn't show it, so I have no idea how it happened, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Okay. So that team was great. Todoroki's team, obviously, was great. Bakugo's team, obviously. And I just want to give a little shout out to Hagakure, who is the invisible girl, because she's adorable and awesome and invisible. She's just great. Okay, I kind of wish she had a bigger role in the show because she's just so great. Like she has no business being that great, but she is anyway. It's just it's great. Okay, but anyway, all right. The second round, cavalry battle. Okay, obviously the second this battle started, everybody went for Midoriya. Okay, everybody, most people. Okay, especially Class A. And the way Midoriya decided to escape from them is to fly through the air with a combination of Ocha's weightlessness, her quirk to make all of them except for herself weightless, and Hatsume's gadgets so that they can fly and direct themselves and, get away from any danger. And while most people in Class A and some Class B people were focused on getting Midoriya and his headband, there were other people who decided to focus on getting second through fourth place. Okay, Monoma to be specific. Okay, he somehow took Hagakure's headband and Bakugo's headband and Mineta's headband. I still have we saw how he got Hagakure and Bakugo. He kind of just came up behind them because they were. Well, I don't even know how Hagakure. Well, I don't even know what was going on there. But Bakugo was so focused on Midoriya that none of them were paying attention when Monoma just came up from behind and took his headband. Okay, Minato, I have no idea how that happened. None. How they could get by Shoji and Tsuyu, I have no idea. But he somehow got Minato's headband too. Okay, so Class B, no joke. All right, one-on-one, Class A would probably destroy them. Probably. I mean, there are specific individuals who are just really good. But overall, Class A is better. That's why they're Class A. But Class B is clearly superior when it comes to strategy. So stuff like this is what they excel at, and clearly they are really good at winning. Okay. And also, Monoma got some payback on Bakugo because Bakugo was constantly treating them as stepping stones. So Monoma took some time to get under Bakugo's skin. And I'll admit this is my one critique, that they could have animated certain scenes better, especially Bakugo's anger here. They kind of went with this like dark silhouette and red eyes. It was kind of really simple, but I thought that if they had animated this similarly to the way they animated Todoroki when he used his ice abilities to freeze the robots, and he had, you know, the mist behind him and his hair blowing and it's just like all this focus and stuff, like, and it just looked really cool. If they did something like that with Bakugo, but instead of the mist have wind being kicked up and fire sparking everywhere and his hair blowing and just like his eyes could still be glowing red and you could just see the pure anger on his face, like that would have been so much cooler than just darkness, red eyes, pan, like that was just really, I think that they could have done that better. All right, but that's just a minor critique of an entire 4 episodes. Overall, these first 4 episodes of My Hero Academia have been very good. Exactly what they should be. Okay. A few things to look forward to are Shinso, because eventually he will start standing out. Another thing to look forward to is Gran Torino, who got a cameo in episode 1, though I guess it's technically episode 14. Okay, he got a little cameo, so watch out for him. And also, oh my goodness, the one person who you must, without fail, look forward to. The greatest villain in this series, bar none. Screw Shigaraki, screw the League of Villains, okay, screw all them, okay. The single greatest villain in this series, and yes, I'm caught up to the manga, I know all the villains, and I'm saying it anyway. The greatest villain in this series is my boy Stain. Okay, Stain. If you look forward to nothing else, look forward to my boy Stain coming in and making an impact, okay? Look forward to it. Okay, Shinso, Gran Torino, Stain, greatness. Okay, the trinity of greatness right there. I gotta look forward to it. Okay, but that is it for this first impressions video. My first impressions are positive overall. It has been very good, exactly what you would expect of My Hero Academia. I give it an 8 out of 10 so far. Solid, good stuff, action, just everything. Okay, and that is that, you guys. Overall, my first impressions are positive. Rate, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at BlacklistOTA, and I will see you guys next time.「